Okay, so we've been learning all about how to represent our decimals and how to explain what a decimal is through a picture. Okay, we know that this is a lot like our base 10 unit, which has 100 units. This is 100 units, and we talked about before that we're going to let this represent the number 1. Okay, well this is just a paper version of that. So this is a square with 100 units, and we're going to say that this right here, this square, represents the number 1. Okay, and we have lots of groups of 10s, right? To make up this, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rows of 10. Okay, so remember we talked about each one of these rows would be called 1/10. Okay, so this row would be 1/10, 1/10, 1/10, all the way down. Okay, so if I want to show you the number 3/10 here, then I would have to color in 3 rows of 10. So 3 rows of 10, and if I shaded that in, then I would say that 3/10 out of my whole unit is shaded. Okay, so coloring 3 rows of 10 represents 3/10. I could also say that since there are individual units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there would be 10, 20, 30 individual units out of 100, or 30 100ths. So this can be written as 30 100ths or 3/10. Both of those are correct ways to name this particular shading on this one block. Okay, this next one here says 6/10. So instead of coloring 3 of them, I would color 3 more. Color these in as well. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my 10s colored in, or 6/10. If we're looking at the rows of 10s. If we're looking at the individual blocks, I have 60 colored in out of 100. So this can be written as 6/10 or as 60 100ths. We've talked about in the past with our numbers before about finding 1/10 of a number. And this is the same kind of concept. This is where this concept comes from. Okay, so now on this one here, we're going to look at it differently. We're going to be looking at this one. This one is asking for the hundredths. This one says that it wants me to find 35 hundredths. Okay, that's a new term for us. Hundredths, not hundreds, but hundredths. If it has this THAS on the end, that means it's less than 1. Just like this one says 3/10. The THS is the less than 10. Okay, so 35 hundredths. We're going to say, okay, well, we know that this is 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Okay, so in this square now, I have 35 out of 100 colored in. If I color them in really good here. Not really good, but kind of colored in. Okay, I have 35 out of 100 colored in, or you can call that 35 hundredths. Now, if I wanted to combine some of these, let's say I wanted to do my 35 hundredths, and then I wanted to do my 3/10. I could do both of them. I could say, well, this one's 35 hundredths, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to color in my 3/10. So on this side, I have 35 hundredths colored in, and then over here, I have 3/10 of them colored in, or 30 100ths. These are just different ways to represent the same number, but understand that this is less than 1. This is less than 1. So you could write it as this is 35 out of the hundredths. The way that you write this is the decimal, because all of your whole numbers are in front of the decimal. This is less than 1, so it's going to be decimal 35 hundredths. And then this one over here is less than 1, so you're going to put your decimal first. This is going to be 3 tenths. So this is a way that you can draw pictures and model fractions that are in tenths or hundredths.